Welcome. My name is Ross Newkirk, and in this video we're going to take an in-depth look at the Core Harmonizer. The Core Harmonizer is an amazing piece of technology that was created to bring a greater coherence and harmony into one space. It uses light, music, and sacred nested geometries as the mechanism for creating the coherence. The first Core Harmonizer was created in April of 2019. The technology came to me through downloads, dreams, and synchronicities. Throughout a lot of my life, I worked alongside my father, Mark Newkirk, who was a world-class scientist. In the last 20 years of Mark's time on Earth, he spent it creating technologies to raise human consciousness. He worked with cutting-edge scientists and physicists and ultimately was led to expand his understanding on information fields. Historically, it's been taught that there are 5 non-physical fields, which include an electric field, magnetic field, gravitational field, strong nuclear attraction field, and a weak nuclear attraction field. It ends up there's actually a 6th field, and that is an information field, also known as a torsion field. My father, Mark Newkirk, met and worked with 2 of the top leading-edge scientists from the former Soviet Union that had studied information fields. In fact, the Russian government spent $500 million studying information fields. So information fields are certainly very real and an important discovery as the 6th non-physical field. With this knowledge, coupled with other information my father received on his own, in addition to information from other contributing scientists and intuitives, he began to build technologies that would allow people to more readily raise their consciousness. I worked with my father for many years building such technologies. We worked hand in hand. Out of this work, the original flow unit was created. The Light Field Unit, located at the Light Field Foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit that operates out of Western Massachusetts. The GRACE technology, and others. It was from working with my father, coupled with the increase in my own perceptive and intuitive capabilities by the very act of using these technologies, which enabled me and led me to form Conscious Technologies, LLC. It is under Conscious Technologies that the Core Harmonizer, Cohere Meditation Mat, and Quantum Flow Unit have been created. By using information fields, you can create an environment that does not have some of the limitations that physical reality does. Effectively, what we're able to do is have a free-flowing, coherent, harmonious information field. Within this field, things that are out of balance begin to come into balance, and any distortion within that field starts to be jettisoned and released. One way to look at it is if you were to create the perfect blueprint of yourself, anything that was hindering or corrupting that blueprint, such as limiting ideas, past injuries, and so forth, that have been overlaid on that blueprint, start to be loosened, removed, and released. This is what can occur when an individual is in a coherent space. Lower ideas start to fade away and higher ideas come in and replace these lower ideas. The music we use in the Core Harmonizer has specific geometries and tones that are important. We transpose the music that we purchase the rights to 432 Hz and 528 Hz. 432 Hz music is a frequency that is mathematically in balance with the universe and consistently found within it. It has a softer and brighter tone and provides greater clarity. The music you hear on the radio is tuned to 440 Hz and is out of balance compared to the 432 Hz. The Stradivarius violin, which is said to be one of the most beautiful sounding instruments, was originally tuned to 432 Hz. About 75% of the music we use is tuned to 432 Hz, and the other approximately 25% is tuned to 528 Hz, which is the frequency of love. Humanity needs to begin to move more into their hearts, and that is why we use 528 Hz music spread throughout the tracks of the music we use. Our technology incorporates a lot of 3s, 6s, and 9s within it. For example, there are 3 nested copper cones, and the shape of the Core Harmonizer is 6-sided, to name a couple. Tesla stated that 3s, 6s, and 9s were the keys to the universe. The way the Core Harmonizer works is frequencies of music come from a Bose speaker in the base of the Core Harmonizer and resonate up through the geometric chamber and out through the top of the unit, forming a toroidal flowing coherent information field. When I mention coherent, I mean a field that is in balance and in resonance and is devoid of any distortion. There are some people that can actually see and perceive the toroidal energy field that comes out of the Core Harmonizer. Many people can physically feel it. Those that can feel it describe it using descriptive words like tingly, warm, energizing, relaxing. Within the Core Harmonizer, there's a specific Pantone color of green light that is also a contributing factor to the environment it creates. Sometimes people ask why green light and not red light. Green is an important color as it is a dominant color found in nature. Green represents abundance and growth and has many other important qualities. If you look down inside the Core Harmonizer, you will see nested geometries and the Sri Yantra and Metatron's cube symbol. Sri Yantra is a powerful ancient symbol that has been found in ancient structures and sites around the world. Sri Yantra assists in bringing in positive energy and clearing out negative energy and transmuting it. Sri Yantra is formed by 9 interlocking triangles and represents the unmanifested power and potentials of the universe. Metatron's cube is created from both feminine geometries, which are the circles, and masculine qualities, the lines. Within Metatron's cube, there are many other geometries, including the fruit of life and all the 5 Platonic solids. The Platonic solids are the cube, the tetrahedron, the dodecahedron, the octahedron, and the icosahedron. Platonic solids are the building blocks of all existence, including spiritual realities. They are found all throughout nature. Also within the Core Harmonizer is a Vogel-cut Himalayan quartz crystal that is specifically cut to be an amplifier of energy. The information which is generated by these geometries, along with some of the other materials and components, comes up and out of the tip of the copper cone at the top of the Core Harmonizer. These copper cones are solid copper and have an internal angle of the Great Pyramid. You will notice etched onto the tempered glass on the top of the Core Harmonizer is the flower of life. The flower of life symbolizes creation and is an important geometric symbol that has been found all over the world in sacred ancient places. The glass on the Core Harmonizer is thick tempered glass, so if it was ever scratched, it would greatly reduce the possibility of it cracking. The wooden structure of the Core Harmonizers are built at our manufacturing operation in the Berkshires. They are each handmade by professional woodworkers. The internal joints are dovetailed, and the wood chosen has been consciously harvested in New England. Great detail, love, and care is poured into making these. The Core Harmonizer is proudly made in the USA. Even the quality protective quilted transport covers are sewn by two of our talented seamstresses in Western Massachusetts. We use lathes, CNC routers, CNC laser machines, 3D printers, and various woodworking equipment to create these beautiful pieces of technology. There's a lot of time and components that go into making a core harmonizer. We offer the core harmonizer in 3 beautiful wood choices: quarter sawn pine, oak, and cherry. The core harmonizer is transportable. There are 2 carrying handles on the side of the core harmonizer. Depending on the type of wood you choose, it weighs approximately 32 pounds. You can transport it in a vehicle by placing it on a seat and strapping the seatbelt around it. The core harmonizer is great to use for individual and group meditations, yoga classes, Reiki sessions, chiropractic sessions, or just for everyday use in your house as you go about your day. Pets tend to be calmer and less aggressive around the core harmonizer. Cats love it. We have many pictures and videos that people have sent us of their cat curled up on the top of the core harmonizer. Some people have told us that they sleep better with a core harmonizer. Others have noticed that their dreams are more meaningful and vivid. A few people have even experienced lucid dreaming. Because the core harmonizer creates a large information field, it is not necessary to have it in your bedroom to receive its benefits while you sleep. Some people like the light and music that is given off by the core harmonizer as they sleep, and others would find it distracting. You can have the core harmonizer playing in another room and receive its benefits without having to even hear the music or see the light, so do whatever makes you the most comfortable. Some people have tested the distance of the coherent field the core harmonizer creates using both dowsing and kinesiology, and have found that the field extends at least 100 feet. To support this observation, we have done events where we were invited to bring the core harmonizer last minute, and thus attendees did not know it was going to be at the event, and we had people say they could feel something different and special about the event before they even entered the building, and then subsequently found out that the core harmonizer was there. It is important to know that the core harmonizer does not impose itself on someone or violate their free will. There are no subliminal messages within it. It is simply a coherent information field offering. If you choose to accept that offering and use it, you can experience both subtle and more meaningful benefits. Some benefits people have reported include a greater sense of peace, improved intuitive abilities, physical releases including self-healing, inspiration including flows of new ideas. Sometimes people can even feel the energy moving within their bodies. Some have reported instantaneous self-healings or quicker recoveries on things they were working on letting go of. Because the information field created is an intelligent information field, it interacts with each individual in the most supportive way for that particular individual. We have seen this over and over again when we have done group meditations. One person may get an inspired thought, another person feels energy flowing through their body and where a past injury was, the next person feels a sense of much needed love and is brought to tears, and someone else feels a sense of peace. When using the core harmonizer specifically for deep meditation, I have found that if I sit next to it and turn up the music volume and enter into a quiet space within myself, I get the most out of it. I have had some big releases this way, including some big physical self-healings. I wanted to share a personal story of how I used the core harmonizer to create coherence in my experience and to be able to release something that came up. I was awoken one night at 2 or 3 in the morning with myself scratching, my arms. And I went in to use the restroom, and when I was washing my hands, I looked in the mirror and there was all this redness on my sides and on my arm and on my neck and scratch marks. And it was quite a disturbing picture. It was hives. I had never experienced hives in my life. I called my wife, who was in upstate New York at the time traveling, and was looking to see if she could do some remote healing work for me. But she didn't answer the phone because it was 2 or 3 in the morning. So I was led to go into our living room where we had our Core Harmonizer. So I had my Core Harmonizer playing here. I was sitting in a chair. I got myself a glass of water, and my dog was curled up on the floor. And I just closed my eyes and I just started to listen, and the message came, fill your thought with so much gratitude. So I started to fill my thought with so much gratitude that tears of gratitude and joy just started streaming down my face. And at the time I was running a meditation group, and inspirational thoughts and ideas started to come through, so I started to jot those down on a piece of paper. And after about an hour, I was, because I was drinking so much water, I needed to use the restroom. So I went in, and as I was washing my hands, I looked in the mirror, and all the redness, all the scratch marks had totally diminished. They had totally left, and I was so grateful. And what I love about this story is that I didn't rub any cream on myself. I didn't take any herbs. I didn't drink any special teas. I literally was able to switch into a state of gratitude, and in that state of gratitude, that lower vibrational state of being could not exist. It could not present itself. That manifestation of hives no longer could exist in that coherent field and in that environment. So when we switch to and raise our levels of consciousness and awareness, lower ideas start to diminish and fade away. So anything is possible. We have amazing abilities all within us. They're just laying latent, and as we are able to raise our consciousness and awareness, we open doors of infinite possibility. There are certain elements of the music base that are very helpful. That being said, if you have the Core Harmonizer in your home and are watching a documentary or something and need to be quieter, you can turn down the volume, and you can turn it way down. There are important elements to the bass, but having it lower is fine as well. Really, the possibilities are endless. The technology creates the space, and the individual does their own releasing both consciously and unconsciously. The Core Harmonizer uses very little electricity to run. It only uses 45 watts of power, which equates to about a half a cent of electricity per hour in most places within the United States. Some people ask how long they should run their Core Harmonizer. That's totally up to you. Some people run it for 6 hours a day, some people just for an hour or two, and some run it for 24 hours a day. Just listen and feel into it and see what feels right for you. I personally run ours for a few days straight, and then I turn it off for a part of a day, and then I may run it for a week straight. It all depends. Core Harmonizers can be shipped anywhere in the world. We carefully package them in a heavy-duty box that is then within another double-walled box and surrounded by inches of recyclable packaging. The Core Harmonizer is easy to use. All you do is flip the switch on the back of the Core Harmonizer and it turns on. The music begins to play automatically when turned on. The music is peaceful, meditative music. It comes with over 9 hours of different music, and we offer additional expanded albums as well that can be added on. Replacing the bulbs in the Core Harmonizer is easy to do. Bulbs generally last a long time, but when you do need to replace them, there are 4 screws that hold the door in place that you remove using the included screwdriver. We include 6 spare replacement bulbs with each Core Harmonizer, and we also offer replacement bulbs which you can purchase at any time on our website. Children are attracted to the Core Harmonizer. It is wonderful to see how little children interact with it. In fact, the day the first Core Harmonizer was unveiled was on my wife's birthday in April of 2019. We had a dozen people over and had 2 large tables pushed together for the party. 2 of our family youngsters were running around the tables and no one could calm them down and get them to stop. As soon as I pulled off the cover of the Core Harmonizer and turned it on, the 2 kids came right over to it. One looked down into it and then proceeded to lay down and spoon the Core Harmonizer and close his eyes. The other child, seeing his buddy do that, did the exact same thing. It was absolutely a beautiful and precious moment. I stood up on the bench and took this picture as it happened. For those that would like to read about the test data we have on our Core Harmonizer, please go to our website and click the Test Data tab. And you can also see testimonials people have written about the Core Harmonizer. This technology was designed as a set of training wheels, as the most amazing piece of technology actually exists within each one of us. We have amazing potentials that are just laying latent within us. We have the ability to self-heal. We have amazing perceptive and intuitive capabilities all within us. This technology provides the coherent space to allow us the potential to turn on these abilities more easily. It does not matter where you are on your path. The Core Harmonizer creates a coherent space, making it easier for you to feel a sense of peace and connect to your higher levels of awareness and abilities. For more information on the Core Harmonizer and to learn about our other technologies such as the Quantum Flow Unit, Cohere Meditation Mat, and EMF harmonizing products, please visit us at www.conscioustechnologiesllc.com. We also have free talks, interviews, and lectures on consciousness that can be found on our resource page. Also, if you're interested in our crystals, please visit vogelcutcrystals.com. And if you're local to Rhode Island, you can experience these technologies by booking a session at the awakenwholenesscenter.com. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day.